Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. We are back for yet another Rocket League match. We're in the Novice League. We've got the number 2 Kiwis going up against the number 7 Genesis. Your boy Psycho in the booth, ready to bring this one straight to you as usual. And I am joined by one of the Nemesis OGs, my friend Sageburner. How you doing, man?
Yo, I'm doing amazing, Psycho. Thank you for having me in the booth with you today.
Of course, man. It is a pleasure to share this space with you, as you are one of the first people I ever shared this space with in Nemesis. So it is a pleasure to have you up here with me. But we in the Novice League, man. This is our league. We've got the Kiwis versus Genesis. What kind of juicy scoops you got on these guys?
Oh, Genesis revamped roster after the winter break that we had in Nemesis this season. They brought in Boltend, Monkey Bacon, and Cognition, all three fresh new players. Monkey Bacon acquired from the Wisps in a trade. Cognition also acquired in a trade. Remix picked up off of free agency. As for Kiwis, also a lot of roster moves for them, bringing in Finn to replace Twisted Hydro, bringing in Pillow to replace Vigil. Two very new rosters, two rosters that should go head to head, and it should be a fun match tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun match indeed. And, this is do or die moment, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the playoffs, so a loss here sends you home, and a win sends you into the next bracket. And both of these teams look like they're ready to get on this thing, Sage, and I am not interested in holding them up. So let's hear the caster prediction. Who you got taking this game?
Whew, I gotta go with my boy Monkey Bacon. I have him taking it in 7. I think it'll be a back and forth matchup. Both new rosters. I just think Genesis has that much more. How do you say it? I'm blanking on the word. Just blanking completely.
You just think that they're gonna get it.
Yeah, they're gonna get it done. Let's keep it like that. I think they're gonna be able to get it done. Monkey Bacon in 7.
Monkey Bacon in 7. I hear you. Calling up for the Genesis roster to pull this thing out. We will see if they're able to. As the clear underdogs here, Kiwis, the number 2 seed, have been having a fantastic season. But like you said, they've got a lot of roster changes that came out towards the end of the season. So we'll see how they play here tonight. Music with the clear out. Music being the one stable guy throughout this entire season, I think. Sticking with this Kiwis roster. And he's a team lead here at Nemesis, so we love having him. And we'll see what he's able to do here. Cognition 50 with Music in front of the net of Genesis. Monkey Bacon with the pop-up over Pillow. Remix with it, but PHN is there in the midfield to send it back. PHN missing his touch. Cognition with some control. He cuts it, trying to get it past Music, but he's not going to be able to. Monkey Bacon with the shot, but it's not going to be on target. And removing Pillow. Gets it past one in the midfield. Him and Music pushing up. Music looking for the bump, but Cognition is going to take this away. And a little over a minute gone so far from this Sage. Neither of these teams able to find the back of the net. Heck, neither of these teams really able to generate much offense, to be honest.
I do agree with that. There's not much offense being played. I think the stream nerves are getting the better of both teams right now. I mean, like you said at the beginning, it's win or go home right now. A couple losses and your season's over just like that. It's been 4 months. These guys do not want to go home yet.
Yeah, it's true. I wouldn't want to go home either. I mean, big Sag for me. I didn't even make it into the play-ins, but whatever. I definitely wouldn't be wanting to go home at any point during the postseason. You play all that time, the 8 weeks, just to get there, and then you want to make it happen. So both of these teams taking their time, trying to feel each other out in this game number 1. Nobody wants to give up the early lead here, and we are about to enter the second half of game number 1. Monkey Bacon to find Remix off the backboard. Genesis starting us off tonight.
There it is, a beautiful team play coming out from Genesis, one after another. A nice finish there to put it right past Finn. Genesis are up 1-0.
And just at the halfway mark, You love to see it. Genesis getting out there, starting us up. And will the Kiwis be able to clap back here? Or will Genesis keep the lead, possibly even take game number 1 in this long series? Monkey Bacon out of the corner, pops it to the mid. Remix is there again. Music with the save. Cognition trying to do the third man thing, but the ball gets cleared away. PHN out of the corner to Music. He's a little bit too awkward to get a solid shot on net. Pillow with the shot attempt, but it's going to go wide, and Monkey Bacon to clear that one all the way out. Music trying to get it cleared away. Remix with the shot, looking for the follow, but PHN clears it to the side. Monkey Bacon keeping the pressure up for Genesis as Music tries to get it cleared out. Pillow finally going to do just that. And Sage, Kiwis still running behind here. I got to say, I'm a little bit surprised. I was expecting once they went down to see this team really turn up the heat.
You know, I'm not too surprised. They lost their main man Vigil, 1350 on sheets, 1349 actually. Sorry for the wrong stat there, but you know, he was a sensational player, top 5 novice player by far, and unfortunately he went non-playing. Some real life stuff got in the way. And they're truly missing him here right now. Finn, Music, still sensational players. Same with Pillow. I think Music was just the glue that held the, not Music, Vigil was the glue that just held this team together. As I say that, Music able to put one in to equalize the game.
Yeah, great play there from Music as he takes the ball in the midfield and then just dusts the defenders to it. They weren't expecting him to be that fast, and he equalizes us up with just a little under 60 seconds. And Sage, I gotta say, I was confused. You were saying Finn, and I was like, man, who is he talking about?
Oh.
Finn? And I was calling him PHN, but you're right, it's Finn. Like, what? I can't read. Oh my! Remix taking advantage of the Kiwis being awkward in front of their own net, and yet again taking the lead.
That all starts with Monkey Bacon in the corner there, able to get an awkward, just a little floater right in front of the net, confusing Pillow there, and a really nice finish by Remix to get his little bracey brace.
Yeah, and taking the lead like that with 40 seconds left on the clock. Monkey Bacon looking to extend it a little bit. Holy moly, that man says, I'm ready to pop off right now. But the defense of Kiwis stays strong, keeps him out of the net. 30 seconds left, though. They need to find the back of Genesis's net to stay alive here in game number 1. Remix with the touch. Music out of the Kiwis corner. He leaves it for Finn to pop it over in the midfield. Cognition to send it back. The final 10 seconds here as Monkey Bacon gets a demo on Pillow. And it's looking like Kiwis might have one last drive here. No, Monkey Bacon going to go ahead and get one for the road for Genesis. 1 second left on the clock, but they're pretty much all but securing game 1.
And there's the dagger. Like I said, Monkey Bacon, he's going to do whatever it takes to push his team to the final. And with that being said, no disrespect to Monkey Bacon, but Remix really showed up this game. I was not expecting this out of him. 2 goals to start off the series. Absolute amazing start for Genesis. This is their dream start, probably.
Yeah, I would say so, especially being, the 7th seed, just like on paper, the 7th seed going against the 2 seed, you're the clear underdog here. Everybody's expecting you to just sort of get stomped. But hey, these guys really came out of the gates full blast. They just said, nah, we're shooting from the hip, straight from the go. We're aiming for the head. And that's what they did. Kiwis now on their heels a little bit here, Sage. They're really going to have to do something. They're going to have to make some big changes.
Absolutely. I think those big changes are going to start with just some fundamental stuff. They're going to need to... My apologies. A bit of a technical difficulty there. I thought we were remaking lobby. But I think it's going to start off with just the fundamental stuff, They just need to focus on rotations, hitting the ball. Just simple stuff like that is going to allow them to probably regain this game to reel it back in and make it a closer matchup.
And I hope they can do that. I know that they have the ability to. I hope they're able to just pull it out. Maybe they had some stream nerves going on there in game number 1. If so, hopefully game number 2 they can sort of squash that stuff moving forward here. They kept it pretty close, but it there towards the end it felt like Genesis kind of started to run away with things. But will we see the same game here, or can the Kiwis make some effective changes as Finn going up trying to follow, removing Pillow, starting things off for the Kiwis. It's looking good for him so far.
There it is. That's the much needed goal that this Kiwis team needed. A bit of a fake coming out there from Finn to confuse the Genesis defense. And there is the first goal of game 2.
And it didn't even take but 12 seconds here. The Kiwis showing us that we are awake. We needed a little time. You know, maybe they didn't have much time to warm up. Maybe that was their first game on. Who knows? But they're back in it now. They got the lead from Genesis. Monkey Bacon got a 50 with Finn. Monkey Bacon to follow it up. Music sends it down, but Remix was back in time. Makes the save, or at least the defensive touch, I should say, as the ball didn't get close enough to the net to register a shot. And Monkey Bacon got a lot of time here, but gets a little too fancy. It misses the second touch. Music pops it over the defender in the midfield, trying to get a pop over Remix. He does, looking for a bump on Monkey, but Monkey's going to beat him out to the ball and make the save. That would have been a great play there for Music if he could have pulled that one off, but Genesis was able to stay strong defensively, and that is good for them, Sage, because they are still down by 1 here. And, I mean, really, they've been pretty suffocated, I have to say. They haven't even been able to score, or, register a shot.
Oh, they haven't registered a shot yet. Wow, okay, they just did. But, yeah, I think that's going to start off with rotations once again. I know it sounds like I'm repeating it, but I know Monkey Bacon, he was the captain of Wisps for a long, long time, and the main thing he harps on is good rotations, good fundamentals, good defense like we're seeing right now, and I think they just got to get back in their groove. They just won game 1. Maybe a bit too overconfident, but I'm sure they'll be able to regain.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will indeed. As Monkey Bacon shows off a little bit of that reading skill. He can definitely read better than me.
This guy is crazy. This is what he does. He's just off the backboard. He is a monster on that offensive backboard. Do not let the ball touch your own backboard when he's on offense, because he will punish you like he just did.
I believe it, and I'll keep that in mind, and just in case he's in Novice next season. Actually, I'm probably in Provisional next season, let's be real.
Oh, come on. No shot. You're tight next season, okay?
On God. The Music going to send it out, sending it backwards, actually, but still sticking with it. Removing Pillow was up to help him out if he needed it, but he sent it away. And Finn, with the touch, can't find a second one. Removing Pillow out of the corner. And the Kiwis really starting to turn up this aggression as Music tries to get something going. His touch a little bit awkward, though. Finn missing it out of the corner. Removing Pillow, gonna 50 with Cognition there. Dangerous touch for him in front of the Kiwis net. And Finn in the midfield looking for the bump on Cognition. Doesn't get it. And that's one thing I gotta say, Sage, I've noticed about this Kiwi roster is their first man is very, very aggressive and very quick to go for the bump play.
Absolutely. I think Music is their preferred first man, and that's I'm waiting for him to switch to Merc, because that's what he's going to do. He's going to be super aggressive, and he's going to, as I say that, removing Pillow, able to run through the entire team to take the lead in game 2.
Yeah, great play from him coming out of the corner, taking it away from an unsuspecting Cognition there, and he was just too fast. None of the defenders were expecting him to get control of the ball like that, and boom, there it is. Kiwis taking the lead with a little under 2 minutes left on the clock. The Monkey Bacon to send it off the backboard of the Kiwis. Finn's there with the touch, gets it past Cognition. Remix with the shot that goes wide a little bit, high. And Monkey Bacon trying to finish it up, but not able to. Kiwis staying strong defensively. Finn pops it up in the midfield. He's met by Remix. Monkey Bacon with the shot, though it's wide. Out of the corner, removing Pillow. 50s with Cognition. Finn off of the Kiwis backboard down to Music, who sends it past the midfield. Monkey Bacon to send this one back. A little over 60 seconds remaining here. Genesis still down by 1 here, Sage. What do you think they need to do to make this comeback come true? It's going to be a 2-point comeback they need to overcome now.
Well, that's gonna make the comeback that much harder. Is Remix just a missed touch there by him? Finn able to absolutely punish this Genesis defense for making that mistake.
Yes, they were, and that is a big ouchie for Genesis as they are now down by 2 with just about 60 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be a tough one for them to come back from. Kiwis really been playing a lot better in game number 2. A lot more solid with their touches, with their rotations, just everything. And there was 3 demos that just happened in quick succession. I did not see everybody who just got felled in that, but holy moly, it was like an apocalypse for a moment there, Sage.
I think both teams. I think Genesis is honestly trying to turn up the aggression here. They started off the game a little bit too slow, and now they're trying to make up for it. It may just be a little bit too late, as they need a goal almost immediately right now to have a chance to make this comeback.
Yeah, that's true. They really did. They needed a goal like 40 seconds ago, and now they're down to the last 10, and they still need 2. The Music knows he's got plenty of time to work with here, or excuse me, not. Music knows he just needs to run down the clock, is what I was trying to say. Music off the backboard. Finn off the backboard, removing pillow was there. His shot was on and past the defender, but it's going to hit the floor before it goes in. Kiwis securing game number 2 in this best of 7.
That was a textbook game from the Kiwis. They were demoing, they were playing aggressive. That's exactly how the Kiwis want to play this series. And unless Genesis makes some changes, Kiwis are going to run away with it from here on out.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. Genesis has got to do something. Remix, he was popping off in game number 1. I'm not sure what happened to him there in game number 2. Barely registered about 50 points on the board. So he was really, really quiet in that. I expect, Sage, that if Genesis wants to really, really keep up and compete in this series, they're going to need Remix, right up there with Monkey Bacon doing the first and the second man thing and really getting aggressive.
I think you hit it on the nail there. I think that's their goal. I think that's what they're going to aim to do for the rest of the series. And if they're able to accomplish it, it'll be a fantastic series.
Yeah, it certainly will. I'm pretty sure that Genesis has the ability to take this Kiwis roster and do a deep run, but will they be able to? Only time will tell as we enter game number 3. The series is tied at 1. Remix putting it off the side. Monkey Bacon looking for the shot. Can't get it through the defense. Music to take the ball through the midfield. And a little bit awkward, but hey, it worked out for him. He got the low 50 and maintained control of the ball. Finally, Monkey Bacon to take it away, sending it past the midline. And Monkey Bacon again out of the corner of the Kiwis looking for Remix. Remix going to miss his touch and the shot. And Music to send that one up to the mid. And we're seeing some novice moments come out here as a couple of whiffs in the midfield from players I really wasn't even expecting to be on the ball there, Sage. I'm not going to lie.
I think they're on stream. I think the stream nerves are gone. I think it's just a little bit of miscommunications because I'm seeing Genesis, they're setting 2 or 3 at the ball at once like they just did there. It's paying off for them right now, though, but we'll see if they'll be able to keep up that play style for the rest of this game.
Yeah, neither of these teams able to find the back of the net. Honestly, neither of these teams even registering a shot yet. There it was, the very first shot of the game. It took about a minute and a half to come out. The Kiwis were able to register it, and removing Pello almost able to follow it up with the first goal of the game. But Genesis able to keep that one out. Tried for the counterattack attempt, got 2 shots on net there before the Kiwis were able to stop it. Remix with another shot, but Finn making the save. And Music trying to take a little bit of time. Monkey Bacon getting to it first. Music maintaining control of the ball, taking it off the side out of the corner. But Monkey Bacon to clear that one out. Finn in the midfield, sending it back towards Genesis net. Out of the corner, Finn's there. Removing Pillow was up as well. And his pre-jump was almost able to do something with it. But in the end, it went up under him and got sent back into the Kiwis half. And Finn off of the sidewall puts it around possibly the last defender. Remix in a dangerous situation, flicking it back towards his own net. But it worked out as nobody from Kiwis was able to capitalize on that moment. Music with a huge shot, though it's not going to go through. And the Kiwis are really putting on a clinic right now. It finally gets sent all the way backstage. I'm surprised that the Kiwis were not able to score off that drive.
I think this is the Kiwis that we saw last game, and I think they're starting to get back into that gear. They're controlling boost. They're getting shots on target, like we just saw there. I mean, they're controlling the pace of this game right now. Like I said, Genesis needs to make some changes, or else Kiwis are going to start really pouring on the pressure.
Yeah, and they really are, but I got to give it to Genesis. So far, they have not cracked defensively, as we still are tied up at 0. Even though the Kiwis have been controlling most of the offensive pressure, it has not resulted in any goals for them yet. So will Genesis be able to keep that up, or are they going to crack under this Kiwis pressure in the final minute and 30 seconds as Monkey Bacon's got the shot? Genesis taking the first lead of Game 3.
That was an absolute bullet from Monkey Bacon. 65 miles per hour. There is no shot. Music even saw that ball coming, as Genesis is going to take a 1-0 lead in Game 3.
Very much needed lead for that Genesis squad right there. And the backflip coming out. Music with a shot, though. It's going to bounce off of the post, removing Pelo's shot a little bit wide as well. And then the ball gets cleared all the way back to the Kiwis half, as the final 60 seconds are now upon these two teams. Kiwis having to play from behind here in game number 3, but they're only down by 1. Arguably plenty of time, and an awkward or weird double commit coming out from the Kiwis there. It looked like Music just went up there and took that ball away from Finn, or at least tried to. I'm not sure what was happening right there, Sage, but that is not what you want to happen if you're down by 1. The final 30 seconds here, and the Kiwis with the double commit can't get it in. Music off of the crossbar, or excuse me, off of the post, and that is disastrous for the Kiwis. A dropped opportunity. Finn possibly with another one here. Finn with doesn't get the demo, gets actually demoed, but still clears the path for Music.
Absolutely cleared the path for Music there. He played that like an old lineman, just got in the way. He just did what he needed to do there to get an equalizer, and it's 1-1 with a possible chance of overtime.
With a possible chance indeed, or will one of these teams be able to finish this in regulation here? The final 10 seconds. Finn with the touch off the Kiwis backboard. Remix looking to make something happen off the backboard. Genesis might have a shot. Monkey Bacon gonna go wide. OT in game number 3 here, Sage. Who do you think is walking into this OT with an advantage?
I think it's going to be Kiwis. They've been playing an amazing game. Just a couple of flaws in their game that Genesis has been able to expose. But I think Kiwis, they'll be able to tighten up and get the dub when it most matters.
And Monkey Bacon looking for that double, though it's not going to go. And another double commit from the Kiwis going to result in a team bump. Music missing his touch right there, but he does get a touch out of the corner, looking for somebody in the bin. Nobody was there to connect. And Cognition with the big clear. Finn is back. He's going to send that one back up. He's able to beat out Monkey Bacon off the backboard, removing Pillow there, but can't get the shot. His touch going to send the ball high and wide as Music sends it all the way across. We now approach our first minute of overtime gameplay here, Sage. And I don't know, like, I agree that moving into this, it looked like Kiwis did have an advantage here, but I think that Genesis has actually been a little bit more in control here in the overtime.
I definitely agree with you there. I think Genesis really needed the restart. As we say that, this comes out off the crossbar. What is going on? Oh my, Psychonautic.
The Kiwis just can't finish right now. They're just unable to get the ball in the back of Genesis net. They've had opportunity after opportunity. They're now up to about 9 shots on goal, and they've only been able to convert one of them. Excuse me. But it is crazy right now that they have all these opportunities. They have not been able to find it. They should have been able to end this game about a minute ago. And all of this for Genesis. Hopefully, I'm sure they are hoping that Genesis doesn't score right here as Monkey Bacon with the long ball. They gotta be careful. Genesis has been doing that. Monkey Bacon off the backboard read. You called it before, Sage. You can't let that man have that. He's gonna read those. He's literate.
He's literally. It's crazy. I mean, this man, Monkey Bacon, he's like a robot when the ball comes off the backboard. He might not be human in that facet of the game because he reads it every single time. It's kind of insane. I need to get some lessons from him because he does it time and time again. He did it game one. He did it this game. Genesis up 2-1 in the series.
And, Kiwis looking good through that whole thing. Finn, especially 5 saves from Finn. Really just a defensive powerhouse for the Kiwis. And 3 shots as well. But Music with 4 shots and a goal to his name. Music was really doing a lot in the offense as well. Removing Pello being a little bit quiet in that one. I'd like to see him sort of step up in this next game and see what kind of things they could do. Because Kiwis, Sage, in game number 2, they really played a solid game, and I'm not sure what the deciding factor was there at the end other than just Genesis was able to, capitalize off of one of their mistakes, which is what, this series might come down to ultimately is Genesis capitalizing off of Kiwis' mistakes if they're not careful.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I think Genesis have a 4th player on the field. That 4th player is going to be the crossbar and the 2 posts that are attached to the net, because both playoff series, well, one play-in and one playoff series, both of that, as I say that, removing Pillow gets a much-needed goal for the Kiwis to put them up 1-0 in Game 4.
And he's playing a dangerous game here, Sage, though. Look how close he comes to this post. It even bounces off of the post. If I was the Kiwis, I would be aiming for the post opposite of my side just so I could, avoid it at all costs. But you're right. I mean, that's what they needed. They needed that early lead right there. Kiwis got that. And I don't know, Sage. Do you think that they're going to be able to keep it, or do you think Genesis has got a little bit too much momentum off of the 2 wins they got in the series?
I think Genesis, they have a lot of momentum. They're a competent team. They know what they're capable of, and I honestly think this game is going to go to Genesis just because of how last game finished. A bit of luck played in, but they were able to hold off the Kiwis' barrage on offense and able to get an overtime winner. I think that's just a confidence booster right there for them, because honestly, I think they had an 11% chance to take the series, and they are currently up a game. So I think the confidence right now for them should be through the roof, and I think it will show in their gameplay for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that for a second. Especially Monkey Bacon's already been kind of popping off. Remix popped off in game number 1, even though, or no, Genesis was able to take game number 1 as well. And I think Remix was a big part of that. So we'll see how they move forward here with a win in game number 3, and a win here in game number 4 would actually be huge for them, setting them up in match point position. And we'll see if they're able to do that, or if Kiwis can maintain their lead here. It's just 1 point at this moment, but 1 point is all you need to win, as Finn is going to be a little bit awkward with that ball. And Remix looked like, I thought he had beat out the last defender there, but Music was back. And Music taking his time off the sidewall with this. Doesn't want to give away possession, but Monkey Bacon takes it away from him in the midfield. Remix taking it up the sidewall, but he has to 50 with Pello. And Cognition sends that to the mid. Music is there. He gets the touch. Pello with a doink off of the side. Music is there. He finds it. His touch is just a little bitty one, but it was enough to get the job done.
That's a beautiful 2-man play there coming out from Kiwis. Pillow in the corner, gets a touch back down to Music, and Music able to sneak it past a Genesis defender.
Yeah, Kiwis really showing off why they are the 2nd seed. Being able to make cognizant pass plays like that in the Novice League is really a big deal. And you can honestly, just get points like that, win like that, but you can also win by going to the gym. And that's what Removing Pillow said I did. I woke up, I went to the gym.
He went to the gym indeed, absolutely demolishing Remix in that 50. Just stayed in front of the ball the entire time. Remix did not stand a chance there.
Oh, he didn't. I mean, I wouldn't even wanted to see that man coming at me. I would have just maybe let him go through. That'd hurt my ego. But Music with the shot. Finn with the shot as well. Bounces off the crossbar in classic Kiwi fashion. He sends it away and out. However, the Kiwis, it's a little bit crazy. I just looked up there and it kind of dawned on me, saying like, oh, wow, they're actually up by 3 right now. They are popping off and killing it.
They are dominating this game. This is the Kiwis that we're waiting to see a consistent version of. They've been on and off this game. They showed it at game 2, showed it this game. I'm just waiting to see them consistently play like this for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I agree with that. And having played the Kiwis a couple times myself, even though they were different rosters, like I said earlier, Music was the guy that came through every time. And here he is again off the pass from Removing Pillow. 4th goal for the Kiwis.
Fourth goal for the Kiwis in this game. It's gotten out of hand. A minute 44 left. I don't see Genesis being able to make a comeback from this. They still have failed to register a shot on target, and they need 4 goals, and they haven't gotten a single shot yet. I just don't see the comeback. As I say that, Remix with a double tap out of nowhere. He absolutely heard me talking ill about his team.
Remix with the remix. He said, let's bring it back real quick and reassess this situation. And now they're still down by 3, but Genesis, minute 30 seconds, all of a sudden looks like they might be able to bring this back if they really want it, as Cognition's going to take control. He has to get away from Pello there as Pello tries to get the demo from behind. Monkey Bacon off of the sidewall. Music in the midfield, not looking to let Genesis generate any sort of offense here. They've done a great job so far here in game number 4 of completely shutting down the Genesis offense. Only 1 shot on net, and now 3 shots apparently on net, but only 1 of those converting in the final 60 seconds. It's all but a win here for the Kiwis in game number 4, which if it does go down like that is only going to, oh my, ooh. Monkey Bacon with the shot past the defender, cutting the lead in half now. 41 seconds, Sage. It's starting to heat up a little bit.
41 seconds is more than enough time for this Genesis team to make a comeback. I've seen it happen before in scrims. We'll see if they're going to be able to do it here at the highest level in the playoffs.
I mean, 20 seconds per goal is definitely doable, but Removing Pillow is up. He was a little bit awkward for that ball. The double commit from Genesis. They need to be careful about those if they're going to get these last 2 goals here. This is clutch time as Cognition puts it off the side, but Monkey Bacon a little bit too slow to that ball. Music going to clear it away before he can get there. Monkey Bacon rotating back on the ball, but Finn off of the backboard. Cognition to keep the pressure alive for Genesis. Cognition looking to get a bump. Monkey Bacon trying to shake things up, but the ball gets sent back away to the corner. And Finn off the backboard, sending it out to Pello, down to Music. And the final second ticks away as Kiwis secure a win in game number 4 and tie this series up at 2.
You know, I was talking about all the confidence that Genesis had. I don't want to say the balloon has completely deflated yet, but that definitely takes a hit to their morale. I mean, they just came off of a fantastic win, and then they were able to reel it back in the last couple minutes of that game. But at the end of the day, it was kind of an all-in-all thrashing. But I'm sure that they'll be able to bring it back for game 3. It's been a back-and-forth series so far. I don't see that ending.
Yeah, I don't doubt that they're going to be able to. It's a little bit awkward. I gotta admit, like, the first win by the Kiwis was much closer than the second win by the Kiwis. And like you said, you know, they were able to sort of reel it in there at the end. They got 2 goals, you know, for themselves. They didn't get totally blown out by the Kiwis there, but I think that really, Sage, to be honest, I think that if they're not the first ones to score here, it's going to be detrimental for them. I think that if Genesis doesn't score first, Kiwis is going to walk away the victor of game number 5 here, and that's going to set them up for match point.
I think your prediction is actually correct. I think every single game that has gone the Kiwis' way is Kiwi scoring first, and vice versa. I think whoever scores first definitely does have the upper hand for the rest of the match. So that first goal has been crucial so far this series, and I think it will remain crucial.
And we will certainly see as we get deeper and deeper into this game. Only 30 seconds so far gone by, and we're seeing a typical Kiwis Genesis matchup. Both these teams play in the midfield, vying for control against each other. Not a lot of offense coming out, but the first shred of it comes from Finn with a beautiful aerial shot.
Finn! Someone needs to be up there for Genesis. Finn, rookie, just joined this league. He is absolutely outperforming all expectations right now on this Kiwis roster.
Yeah, he is looking really good, I gotta admit. And securing that. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, oh my goodness. The yawn came out of nowhere on that one. Just absolutely destroyed me. But Finn, yeah, looking good. You love to see it. Love to see the rookies come in and shake things up, especially in the postseason. And Finn trying to find it. He does find a great pass and removing Pillow with the shot, but Cognition staying strong on the defensive line. He makes that stop and keeps the Kiwis lead to 1 as we got about 3 minutes and 35 seconds left on this clock now. The Kiwis are still up by 1. Genesis, though, playing, I would say, a lot better. Maybe not a lot better. They still haven't registered a shot, and now they are down by 2 as Finn just dunks that through the defense.
Yeah, missed rotations everywhere coming out for Genesis right now. They need to regroup. Rotations are their thing. They need to regroup. They need to sit down, maybe call a timeout, maybe not. They can still come back from this game, but man, this Kiwis roster is performing. As I say that, Monkey Bacon shuts me right up to bring the game back within 1.
And Monkey Bacon not done yet, showing us that Genesis is still very much alive and kicking. And they are now only down by 1, 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Plenty of Rocket League left to go here in game number 5. Will they be able to do it? Will Genesis be able to equalize this scoreline? Or will the Kiwis take another, or not another lead, but extend their lead, I should say? As Music trying to get a shot on net off the backboard, instead removing Pillow, just trying to get in front of the ball. Finn is there as the pressure comes out from the Kiwis. Remix finally able to clear the ball away. Monkey Bacon with the touch gets the bump as well to let the ball roll in, and we once again have a tie ball game.
Monkey Bacon, he is a one-man wrecking ball right now, and he is tearing through this Kiwis team. He is absolutely performing at the highest level right now and equalizing for his team in Game 5.
And he is looking really good. Oh, that is unfortunate.
That's just so unlucky. Unfortunate kickoff. Finn cheated too far. It's just an open net for Remix there.
Yeah, removing Pillow, just miscalculating a little bit there. You know, not able to get the touch. It should have been an easy ball, but I know sometimes you overread those easy balls. You know what I mean, Sage? Where it's like, okay, I got this, and then nope, just kidding. That ball is not where I thought it was.
You know, I'm kind of a perfect Rocket League player, and I don't miss the ball all too much.
I'm facts.
Yeah, I'm not lying. I'm a really good Rocket League player,
Facts,
but yeah, I don't miss the ball. But I understand. I understand what you're talking about, though. I do.
Hey, to be fair, Whisper are number 1 seed. So hey, you know, you got a little little room for that ego. I gotta say.
That is not because of me. That is not because of me.
Oh wait, you've been carried by some sandbaggers? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh, hold on. This is on stream, man. We can talk about this in private, not right now.
Oh yeah, true. My fault. We'll get back to the game at hand here instead, as we're seeing whiff after whiff, a couple of awkward whiffs coming out from these Novice players. as it tends to happen. But a minute 45 seconds left. Genesis up by 1. Removing Pillow, taking a shot. Monkey Bacon going to send it across to the side. Music, keeping the pressure for the Kiwis. Remix, beating out, removing Pillow. Finn there in the midfield. But Monkey Bacon to send it back. We're starting to see the back and forth battle in the midfield as these teams do quite often. However, that's not going to play out too well for the Kiwis as Genesis is up by 1. And we are reaching the final 60 seconds here. Kiwis still need to find one just to tie things up. And we are at a tied series as well. So the winner of this game will be sitting at match point. And we'll be looking to take that one just that much closer to taking home this win here tonight and advancing in the playoff bracket. As Music with a nice carry there in the midfield. A little bit of a fake. Leaves it for Finn. Pillow coming in, trying to clean the play up, but it does get sent out. And this is dangerous. Wow. Finn misreading the ball. Didn't think that he'd be able to get to that one. And Genesis extend their lead by 2.
That's a hard ball to read. I mean, you think that ball is going to hit off the backboard. It's going 51 miles per hour, and then it just caves right down into your net. It's just so unfortunate. At the end of the day, he's only novice. It happens.
Oh yeah, it most definitely does, and that is a really hard ball to read, especially when you're backwards like that in the net. But you know, one thing that I gotta say, Sage, is as a third man, even if you think that ball's going to go off of the backboard, you got to go. You have to at least try and get your car in front of the ball. Music with the clap back. 14 seconds left here. But now Kiwis only down by 1. They are possibly back in the running here, Sage.
I think Genesis just got a little bit too greedy there. They were up 2 goals. They had a goal to give up. That's it right there. They cannot give up another one. I think they need to close out this game. They need to focus on their rotations and not overextend like how they just did. Oh, a flip reset.
Oh, yeah, Remix trying to get a little bit fancy here in the final seconds of this game, though. It is a good way to waste the time for sure. Keeping the ball up, though, might not be the best, though, as Kiwis not able to fully keep the ball up. Genesis barely walking away with a win there in game number 5, but they are sitting at match point here. Genesis looking to fully upset the Kiwis here in the playoff, Sage.
You know, I have a really hot take. This might be a sizzling take. All right. I honestly think the winner of this past match was gonna take this game 7 or this game 6. I think that just because of the fact that there's gonna be so much nerves, right, on now the Kiwis, right? They have nerves, right? And now I think their performance is going to drop. I think it's a hot take. I think they're going to play much worse. It's win or go home. I don't know how well they do under pressure, but I think Genesis, their morale's back up, confidence back up. As long as they play their game and they play smart, I think they will be just fine, and I think they'll take this in 6.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Kiwis calling for their timeout here. So they get an extra 60 seconds as soon as we load into the lobby. Nobody's going to join up for 60 seconds so the Kiwis can get a little bit of a break here. Maybe Music's giving them a little pep talk, doing the captain thing, trying to get his boys riled up, get them back into the fight here. The Kiwis definitely not out of this thing by any stretch or measure, but here in the Forbidden Temple, you know, Sage, anything is possible. So it's possible that the Kiwis are going to force us a game 7, but it's also very much possible that Genesis is going to close out the upset in this, you know, Forbidden Temple, in this mystical land of dragons and such.
You know, anything is possible, like you just said. Kiwis, they could just flip this entire script. They've already done it. It's been a back and forth series. I don't think either team has won 2 games back to back. So
Nope.
I mean, it's written up for a game 7. The script is written up for a game 7. Rockerman took his time with this one. It's been a fun series so far, and I'm sure this game 6 will not disappoint.
Yep, I fully agree, and that is going to do it for the timeout for the Kiwis. And we are going to have the players join back up onto the pitch now. We're going to get into this kickoff, the first kickoff of game number 6 in the Forbidden Temple. Kiwis versus Genesis. Genesis up 3-2 in the series, looking for one more win to secure their win and move forward in the playoff bracket. Monkey Bacon looking for a demo, but his teammate couldn't get the ball through the defense, as Remix trying to get it through as well, but Pillow 50s with him. Finn getting bumped by his team there. Music in the midfield, pops it. Music taking a little bit of a time, but he can't get the ball through Remix. And Finn also trying as he might, but Genesis staying really strong, not allowing the ball in front of their net. And Cognition gets it through one defender, removing Pillow, take it away. Monkey Bacon keeping the pressure alive for Genesis. Off the backboard, Finn is there. He gets it past one. Music sends it down in the midfield. Cognition gonna bounce it. And more back and forth between these teams as usual, Sage. I would expect nothing less.
A bit of bang ball to start off this game 6. I think Genesis, they're honestly just trying to take that last second goal. As I say that, Kiwis are going to put themselves up 1 point in game 6.
A great play by Finn there as he leaves the ball, knowing one of his teammates is up, goes directly for the demo, gets the demo, and just leaves an easy shot for Pillow there. Pillow's going to put that in. I mean, anybody's going to put that in. Even Platts are going to put that ball in. It was so close to the net.
Okay. That's a stretch. Some of them might miss that.
True. It's been so long since I played in Plat that I forget what they're like. Not that I'm far away from Plat, Diamond, but
still in Plat, so I can confirm. Oh my!
Oh, Remix
has been in the gym.
Huge. Remix has been in the gym. I gotta say, he's been speed training. I'll say that. Beating out Finn there, getting a shot on an empty net. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're at a tied scoreline again, 1-1. Sage, I gotta say, both of these teams are looking really hot right now. I think both of these guys really want it at this point.
They look really good. I think this is going to end up going one or two ways. I think if the Kiwis keep having these blunders on their back line, it's going to end up being just a Genesis win in game 6. But if Kiwis can keep up that aggressive first man play, demo heavy play that they like so much, I think they'll be able to force this game 7.
Will they be able to or won't they? We'll see here as the ball falls in front of Genesis net, removing Pillow to sink that one through, and Kiwis take the lead.
That was a beautiful 50 coming from Music. I do not know how he read that, but that play was all him. Reading that bounce, playing that ball, getting it to fall right in front of the net. What a play there by Music.
Yes, it was. I agree. You love to see it come out. Almost another beautiful play from the Kiwis as they drop another ball in front of Genesis net. And Finn with a big bump on Cognition, but he can't do much with the ball. Remix to take it. Has to 50 with Finn. Monkey Bacon gets beat out by Pillow. Pillow looking for the second touch. Gets it, but it gets pinched against an opponent and sent across the net a little bit too fast for teammates to react. In the second half now of game number 6, Kiwis still hold the lead, looking to force the game number 7 and stay alive in the playoff run. As Monkey Bacon looking for a shot, it's not accurate. Cognition can't get it through the defense. Gonna 50 with him, but the ball goes wide of the net, removing Pillow, keeping it away from the Kiwis net. Finn looking for the clear, but gets dunked out. Remix gets the demo, but nobody else from Genesis was there. Kiwis had a lot of space to work with, but they're still not able to get the ball cleared away. And this could be dangerous. 2 of the Kiwis up, just looking to get the ball cleared away from their net. I mean, try as they did, Genesis was really holding on in the midfield, not allowing the Kiwis to get out of their half.
Absolutely. I do think... Come on. My apologies. My apologies. I had to cough there. I do think that the Kiwis have had a great game plan so far. They've been
Oh,
controlling the game the way they want to. They've been playing aggressive. They've been playing faster than Genesis, and I think that they'll be able to keep it up and take this game, force a game seven for the content. Hopefully, a game seven overtime.
hopefully. I mean, I want it. My face wants it. My brain wants it. Genesis doesn't want it. Remix doesn't want it, Sage.
They do not want that game seven. They hate game sevens. In fact, they want to take it in game six. They want to dethrone this number 2 seed, and Remix puts them one goal closer to that.
You know, I don't know how you knew that, but I've been, manager. I've got the power. I've been lurking in the Genesis Discord, and that's all they've been talking about the last 3 days. We hate game sevens. We hate game sevens. I don't understand. They just keep saying they hate game sevens, but now I understand it, Sage.
They just like game sixes more. They don't really want to give the opponents the joy of a game seven, or the fans to say that.
Oh!
What a passing play coming out from the Kiwis! Oh my!
Holy moly, and Finn with a huge demo there, taking advantage of the situation. Music puts it straight on the front of his car, and a beautiful pass play coming out from the Kiwis to once again take the lead away from Genesis. 30 seconds remaining on the clock. Kiwis said, no, we are going to force the game seven. You are going to have to do the most to beat us, to upset us. And the final 15 seconds ticking down now. Removing Pillow, taking his time, knows that he's got a lot of room to work with. And Finn having to beat out Monkey there. He does get in front of that ball. The final second, the ball is still up. Genesis could still do something here. Monkey shot going to go a little bit short. Kiwis securing the game number 6, forcing us into the game number 7. Ladies and gentlemen, we get our first game 7 of the playoffs.
Absolutely, and Genesis, it looks like they're about to take their timeout before their game seven. I have been here before, taking that game six timeout before the game seven. It's nerve wracking. It's scary. Your season is hanging in the balance if you lose this next game. And I know Monkey Bacon, a fantastic leader. He's definitely giving that Genesis team a pep talk. I think they're going to be ready for this next game. Same with the Kiwis.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that we could get in those comms, and hear them. I'm sure there's some good stuff going on in there. But yeah, they are taking their time out, so they will have 60 seconds after we get into the actual lobby. And I mean, they were looking not terrible. Actually, looking at the scoreboard, they were looking pretty good. Like defensively, they weren't doing too much, but they had 10 shots. On Genesis side, to Kiwis 3 shots, that they outshot them like crazy. They just need to pick up that accuracy a little bit more, and I think they'll be really deadly.
You know what? I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but early on in that game six, there was 2 open nets. One missed by Cog, the other missed by Remix. Early on in the game, there they could have taken that early lead. I didn't say anything about it, but I think that's really what is killing them right now. Their inability to finish and put the ball into the net. They definitely need to start putting the ball into the back of the net because they outshot them 10-3. Kiwis, they are a fantastic defensive team. They had 29 saves in a series earlier this season. They're a fantastic defensive team, and I think Genesis are doing the right things. They're just not putting the ball into the net.
Yeah, I would. I think I would agree with that. They definitely got to pick up their accuracy there, and we'll see if they're able to do that. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the do or die moment. The timeout has officially ended. Teams have been told to join up on the pitch, and we are now in the kickoff of game number 7. The Kiwis versus Genesis. Will Genesis be able to upset the number 2 seed Kiwis and send them home? Or will they go home packing and see Kiwis move forward in the bracket? We will have to see here. I'm sure this game for the first minute or so is just going to be a bunch of back and forth in the mid, but we'll have to see. if it's going to follow trends, or we might have a completely different Game 7 here. Sometimes Game 7 is a new beast altogether. As Remix in the midfield, it's going to keep it in the Kiwis half. Monkey Bacon as well, doing everything they can to keep the pressure alive for Genesis. They know they have to apply big amounts of pressure to this Kiwi roster to keep them off of offense. Both of these teams seemingly pretty offensive, if I do say so myself, Sage. But, I mean, I wouldn't say that they're not good in defense, but Music breaking through the defense, capitalizing off of a demo there.
Like you said at the beginning of the series, their first man loves to play an aggressive first man. They touch the ball. Even when they miss the ball, they go for a demo right after. You need to be on your toes while playing this team, or else they are going to punish you on defense.
Yeah, and that's a really, really effective tactic, that rotating through and getting the demo there. Even on some of the best players, in the world, you see the demo get thrown in and their rotation just goes out the window. Oh my goodness, that was almost not great for Finn there, as the ball pinched out from under him towards his own net, but it did go awry there. And Removing Pillow with the save. The Kiwis making 3 saves so far, having to stay in their own half. Genesis starting to wake up here after they got scored on, realizing that they can't play from behind for very long, and Monkey Bacon taking advantage of a mistouch from the defender.
Cognition, what a touch by him. I'm pretty sure that was going in, forcing Removing Pillow to make an ill touch, and then Monkey Bacon right there to slot it into the back of the net to even out this Game 7 1-1.
Why am I not surprised that we have a tied ball game between these two guys? These teams have been doing this all match, either with a 0-0 or with a 1-1, but Remix says let's make it a 2-1. Genesis going up by 1 over Kiwis.
Just a bad play there by the Kiwi third man, overextended, and it's just a wide open net in a Game 7. The nerves are getting the better of the Kiwis right now. They need a lock in, and I'm sure they'll be able to get an equalizer. This series has been so far amazing.
Oh my gosh, as Genesis almost sinks yet another one, but it bounces off the crossbar. The Kiwis just puckered up right there. The Removing Pillow trying to get it through. This could be dangerous. Finn is back. Monkey Bacon's second touch doesn't go in, and Remix can't secure the goal as Pillow gets it over the last defender in the midfield, Monkey Bacon, to make it back in time. Music is there, but he wasn't able to read the ball, and Monkey Bacon sends this one out of Genesis' zone. Finn just sticking with the ball, trying to be a nuisance to Remix there. Music going to clear it away. Music out of the corner, looking to set up a pass play. This is beautifully passed. Pello is there. He finds the pass and sinks it through, tying us up again.
Miscommunications on the Genesis backline, but even better, a great pass coming out from Music there. A great read by Pillow, evening out this game. What a series.
This is certainly shaping up to be a fantastic one so far, as we look like we might have the OT that we wish for. In game number 7 here, both of these teams sitting at 2 with 2 minutes left. The 2-2, I don't know what that means. Probably nothing, but it felt good. And Removing Pillow decides to end it, but he does. I don't know what happened right there at the very end, but it worked.
A Monkey Bacon own goal. Oh my. He is going to be kicking himself if that ends up being the winner. Just a bump coming out from Pillow. Unfortunate series of events, but the Kiwis are up 1 in Game 7.
Quite unfortunate. Minute 55 left on the clock. Plenty of time for Genesis to find just 1 goal, as these teams have found 5 in the past couple of minutes. Started off a little bit slow, but then once they started firing, And here we are, Genesis down by 1, trailing the Kiwis with 1:30 to go. Cognition putting it past Music. Cognition getting it past another one out to the mid. Nobody to find the pass. And Remix pinching it off his backboard. Music gets it to the mid. Pillow has to take a little bit of time. Finn in the midfield sends that one towards the net, but it gets sent away. Music with a ceiling pinch that looked like it was going towards the net for a second, but it was wide, not dangerous. And Remix out towards the mid, the double commit from the Kiwis, but they can kind of afford it at this point. And we'll see if Genesis can make a counterattack as a double commit comes out from them as well. Not what you want to see in the final 60 seconds as they tick down, and Genesis still trails by 1. They need one to tie this thing up, send it into overtime. You don't want to lose off of an own goal like you were saying, Sage. Will they be able to do it in the final 30 seconds? Remix with the shot. Finn able to send that one safely away from the Kiwis net. Remix sending it back. Genesis really have to get something going right here. Monkey Bacon missing the ball off of fake. Finn looking for something saucy but can't finish it out as Cognition's going to get the save. Final 10 seconds here. Genesis have to do this or they're going to die. Music's going to finish it right here and now. 6 seconds. It's not doable. Kiwis sending them home.
Kiwis, what a series. What a goal to finish it off by Music. Putting the dagger inside of Genesis. Plenty of opportunities for both teams. Kiwis are most likely going to pull away with this one. A kickoff. That's probably game. That is
game. It's impossible at this point for him to come back, even if it didn't touch. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Kiwis in a Game 7 victory. What a series between these two teams. Hats off to both of these teams. Those Genesis boys, even though they had to lose, they still played their hearts out and looked good doing it. But Kiwis, just the better team tonight, pulled it out. Congratulations to them moving forward in the playoff bracket.
Absolutely. What a game by both teams. Both teams played their heart outs, ended up in a Game 7. There's unfortunate things going on for both teams across that series, a back and forth series. Kiwis able to win 2 straight for the first time in that entire series to win in Game 7 and go on to play either the winners of either Spitfires or Whelps.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a good match too, whatever it turns out to be. But that wraps us up, ladies and gentlemen. We need to get to break as quickly as we possibly can so we can get back. We've got 2 more matches coming your way. We've got the Melons versus Hypernova and Prospect next. And finally, we're going to end the night with my man Sage here in the Wisps going up against Aurora. Sage, I appreciate you joining me in the booth. It is always a pleasure, and good luck to you tonight, sir, on the pitch.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. I hope to show my best on stream tonight.
I'm sure you will, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back after a very short break, just a few moments, while we get some more casters in here and get the next players up on the pitch. So stick around. You don't want to miss what's coming up next.